Alright guys, so we are here today. Back again. Nvidia breaking highs this morning, man. Got all the way up to 806 super early this morning at 790s right now. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. 806 is the new lifetime high for Nvidia. Hold on, let me put it up. The E-mini now currently sitting at $5,100, which is crazy. Honestly, just nuts, man. That's absolutely ridiculous. Market's surging up right now. Let me get some music on here. All right, so we're back. Super Micro, where's that at? All right, let me pull up. Sorry, I got a bunch of different screens. It's Friday. I'm starting the stream a little bit late, and that's okay. You know, these kids are crazy nowadays, bro. My daughter got a Valentine's Day letter. And the audacity of this kid, she's 90% sure he used AI to write it. All right, 90% sure. All right, guys. So yeah, Nvidia up to 799 is testing highs again right now. Here's a 5-minute chart. We are going to trade futures. So we are going to get ready to trade Super Micro up to 930s. Yeah. Anyways, we are here. Who? Send who a letter back for what? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. I forgot I told you guys. Yeah, hey, listen. I'm not even, personally myself, right? I'm not even mad at this kid. You know, I can't say, listen, at 14-year-old John, dude, I was a jerk at 14. I was mean, bro. I was completely insensitive. Honestly. My wife still tells me I'm insensitive. But when I was 14, dude, I was cutthroat, John. You know, I had no empathy for anybody, bro. I was super shy, super socially awkward. I can, it's crazy too, because like in hindsight, I can remember, dude, like, like I was so awkward. Like you think back at these weird moments as an adult. I can remember like multiple different girls trying to like kiss me when I was young, and me like just rejecting them in the most brutal way you could ever freaking do it, dude. Like I was a total jerk, man. A total, like, for lack of a better word, the D word. You know, I was a total D word, bro. Like I was just not a good. I was just not this. I didn't have enough empathy for people. So again, I'm not even mad at this kid. He wasn't disrespectful. It was actually a super thoughtful note. I mean, he's full of crap, but what 14-year-old isn't full of crap? You know, I can't even get mad. Let him live his life, you know. That's what I told my daughter, too. Let him live his life. I'm not even mad about it. Nvidia new lifetime highs are at 806. $806.20. He's full of crap. Hey, coming from the most top 3 full of crap people in the world right now, he's definitely full of crap. I got into trading 2016, give or take. Having hard conversations. The lesson I teach my kids in hard conversations: kill them with kindness, dude. Like, I'm not gonna be too specific, but like, my wife sometimes has to deal with family that have really high expectations of her, and so they're wanting, like, and it's completely like, in maybe my I'm trying not to give too much information, and maybe my side is not involved enough, realistically. Like, I rarely see both my parents. You know, I might see my parents a couple times a year. And her side is just the complete other way. Maybe she's a girl, I guess. But either way, sometimes you have to have uncomfortable conversations. You know, sometimes you have to say, hey, you know, we've seen you the last 4 days in a row. Like, we need a break from that. Like, you know. And the way you always have to tell them is you kill them with kindness. Say, look, you know, anybody. It could be anybody. You say, look, you do this great. You're doing this great. We love having you here. We love hanging out with you. You know, the kids love you. but we're gonna have to take a break for a couple days. You know, easy. That's how you get in any difficult conversation. Kill them with kindness first. What's happening? Is the SPY at 497 yet? Bro, you're non-emotional and your reactions are warranted. Dude, I am one of the most emotional, top 3 ever in the world. For sure, right now. What's up? What's up, A? What's up, A? Alright. See him once a year? Yeah. I love my parents. They're just living their life, man, and I get it, you know. Both of them are married or with a significant other, you know, in a, you know, long-term relationship. And so I think, and I still see him, like, I see my dad probably, like 4 or 5 times a year, maybe. Not that much. I see my dad like 3 times a year, roughly, maybe less, maybe 3 times a year. Good news sandwich is a good way to criticize people without telling them. I opened a new account where I'm trying to invest in Tesla. I invest 10% of how much I made in a week. Do you think this is a good idea? And do you think it's a good time to invest in Tesla? Thank you for the comment, sir. Number 1, I have no idea. Number 2, I have no idea. Okay, I'm going to preface this with this understanding. All right. Wait, wrong one. Remember, I am terrible at all of this, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Understand rule CFTC rule 4.41. We do trade funded accounts here, and so you got to understand that rule, as well as the fact that I am not an investment professional, and I'm not liable if you lose money because I have no idea what I'm talking about, and you shouldn't copy me at all. Okay. Ugh. With that said and out the way, how do you have is that a wrench? Yeah, that's a wrench. How do you have a wrench next to your name, sir? Dave? Uh-oh. Next to your name, sir. Oh, that's just your account. I didn't know you could put a wrench next to your name. So you got Frankie candles. You got, yeah. It's an emoji. Okay, gotcha. I was trying to make sure I didn't accidentally make you a mod here. I would have had to revoke that service with the quickness, bro. Like, who the heck is Dave? No, I'm just joking. Kind of. I'm serious, but I'm also sarcastic with it. It's a 2-pronged fork. Yeah, I had to go into the difference between a wrench and a ratchet with my wife yesterday. Because I was like, yo, I need a while back, I was like, yo, I need a ratchet. Was trying to take a TV mount off the wall, and I was like, I need a ratchet set. And she brought me the smallest wrench ever. And I was like, no, this is a wrench. Bring me a ratchet. And she was like, what's a ratchet? And I had to explain. My wife is actually pretty home improvement-y, though. As much as I hate to admit this, sometimes my wife fixed the sink. All right, she's like more. Carol's like an engineer, you know. Who's breaking up? Dun 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 dun. Anybody that understands the joke I just made with the song I just said, the humming song I just said in my head, you know, y'all are the coolest. I'm not going to explain it. My wife and I taking a break? No, dude, my wife, I love my wife. She's here. Carol and I have been married for 14 years, bro. No, not 14 years. We've been married for 10 plus, almost 11. Carol and I have been with each other for 14 years. You know, we're not going to take a break. A break doesn't mean anything. Break means you're breaking up. We're not doing that. Carol and I, we're staying together, you know. Are you taking a break from streams or 0 day till expiry options trades? Neither. I'm not taking a break from anything. Yeah, 11. So, okay, the market right now. Let me stop talking about random nonsense here. Okay, thank you. I got to get my mind out the gutter. All right, so Nvidia right around highs of the day. Highs of the day are at 806. It hit this 3 a.m. this morning. It hit highs way up there. $800 is the big one. So I think if we're looking at a specific level for Nvidia here, and this is going to influence the entire market, I think we have to look at $800, which is also the volume weighted average price. And so for right now, we have a very clear milestone level, $800 volume weighted average price. We're close to the highs of the day. Nvidia is still up massively from its earnings report that it dropped earlier in the week, which was actually our largest stream ever. We had 14,000 people, concurrent viewers, watching that Nvidia live stream. We got almost 100,000 views total in just a couple hours. So, hey, thanks to everybody that joined that thing. Bunch of degenerates in there, but I love you guys for it. Tesla up to 195s today, kind of flat. Somebody asked me if they should buy Tesla, if they should spend 10% of their money on Tesla or their earnings on Tesla. I'm going to say this, all right? There's risks to holding Tesla. I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who says there's no risks in Tesla. You should put your life savings on it. I'm certainly not saying that. Okay. But there's also massive potential rewards from Tesla, and I'm going to explain how. All right. Number one, EV, it's here to stay. More efficient. Meshes better with technology. Better mileage in a lot of cases, faster certainly, less emissions. It's just more efficient than internal combustion engines, right? Like that's just the truth. It's that it's simply more efficient. And I think a hybrid form is something that we're also going to see a lot into the future, right? I think hybrids are something that we're going to see into the future, but there's risks, of course. Tesla moves very volatilely, if that's a word. Has a huge range overall. Elon is out there on social media saying the most controversial and outspoken things you could ever freaking say. And that's a risk to a public company, especially one that sells things to consumers, okay? So there are risks, certainly, on Tesla. I don't think it's a for sure long-term success, but I'm in it right now. I'm holding it right now, and I'm going to explain why. And again, I'm not telling you to buy it. I have no idea whether you should or not. I'm personally buying it. SQ had earnings yesterday. I forgot about that. But anyways, those are the cons of Tesla. Again, Elon's outspoken and controversial. It's super volatile long term. The PE ratio isn't the lowest it could be, price to earnings, but it's still massive growth company, a lot of earnings, and I think EVs are here to stay. The other benefits of Tesla is that, and the one that I'm the most bullish on right now, over the next 10 to 15 years, is full self-driving. I absolutely believe that FSD is going to be a groundbreaking, game-changing aspect of society change with technology, and I think that is something that we are going to see over the next 5 to 10 years. I think we are going to see full self-driving cars. Regulation's going to happen eventually, and there might be road bumps and hiccups and whatever, but I think Tesla has positioned themselves to be on the forefront of full self-driving. And with this AI boom we're in, I think that's going to be a thing, and I think it's going to snowball once it starts. I think people are going to see other people getting driven around by their cars. They're going to be like, yo, that's cool. I want one. And then they're going to buy one. And then other people are going to see them, and then they're going to want one. And I think it's going to snowball from there and become a very big part of our future tech in automobiles. I think full self-driving is going to be game changing, and I'm not sure when it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be next year, if it's going to be 10 years from now, if it's going to be 20. I know sometime over the next decade or two, we're going to get that in terms of like tracking technology growth with AI and current FSD progress. I think that's certainly something that we're going to see, and I think Tesla is at the very front of that. And so they could benefit massively if that gets widely adopted, which I think is inevitable to a certain extent. I don't think it's inevitable, but I think it's highly probable. And so I think that is why I'm holding Tesla, trying to hold it long term despite the volatility in it. And so, yeah, that is my kind of view on Tesla. It's risky. Elon's kind of dumb in some ways. I mean, he's super smart, but he's also kind of dumb in that he's too controversial and outspoken. And anytime you're selling things to consumers, you can't really be like that. You have to be neutral and unbiased because you're going to, for lack of a better word, bother one side of that, and they're going to stop buying your stuff. And so anyways, but yeah, that's my view of Tesla. Anyways. Let me know if you agree or disagree. If you don't agree, it's all good. If you agree, it's all good. Yeah, the infrastructure is going to be the biggest hiccup, I think. I think the infrastructure is going to be the biggest hiccup just because, like, it's going to take time. Like, people feeling comfortable allowing people to drive cars or be driven by cars is going to be something that takes time. It's not something that people are just going to jump right in, that regulators are just going to ignore and say, yeah, bro, it's cool. Let these cars drive us all around, simultaneously. I think that's going to take some time. The infrastructure, the regulation is going to take time. Biggest hiccup in it right now, but I think eventually it's going to happen. And I think if it does, Tesla's on the forefront, and they're poised to benefit massively from it. It's kind of how I feel. Look, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with anything he says, Johnny. Okay, I'm very politically neutral, and regardless of controversial-wise, most people think he's controversial. Very polarized figure. Some people love him, some people absolutely hate him, and I don't think that's the best thing if you're selling cars to consumers. I think you have to be neutral and anti-politics. Yeah, SQ, rip it up here. You see Square up to 78.30. This is the company behind Cash App. Square. Palantir up. Square up. Tesla up. Tesla down today, but had a pretty nice little bounce up to almost 200 yesterday. Nvidia now under 800 at 795s here, 795s. All right. I'm trying to gauge something here, team. I'm trying to gauge something here. How many people here are day traders? I'm trying to gauge something. How many people here are day traders? companies themselves will end up insuring the cars. I think that's the right path. Me. How many of you guys day trade futures? Me. I just started that. Okay, yeah, I was just curious. I was genuinely just curious. Crypto futures. I trade with just Tesla. Yeah, I think a lot of people probably live off of day trading Tesla just because the volatility is ridiculous. Looking at futures here right now. Sorry, I'm trying to see what I should do content-wise, you know. Like, I know I'm more economic data, stock market data, stuff like that. Not really like a day trading guru, but still. Talk about the mental change from a long-term investor to a day trader. Oh, dude, it's way different. I mean, it's, okay. I day traded for the last 8 years straight. You know, like, I day traded for the last 8 years straight. Over, like, since my, to be completely honest, over the last 5 years since my income went, like, dude, I was bartending. In like 2013, 2014, I was bartending. You know, bartenders make good money. I was at the Marriott. I met Mike Jones, you know, doing so, but different story. And so I went from making, I remember, dude, times just changed so much. I remember making $2,000 a month and thinking I was freaking rich, dude. I remember making $2K a month and thinking, man, I've got it made, you know. And so times change. But again, I was day trading most of this time. I remember going from day trading to investing. It's a very different feeling. Like I think most investors like me, they wake up. What's the first thing you do in the morning if you're an investor? It depends. It might not be the first thing you do, but one of the first things I do is I wake up, I pull out my phone, I check my portfolio. I see what I'm up percentage-wise, down percentage-wise in my equities trades. And yeah, I think it's again, investing the single biggest edge you could ever have. I think you can make a lot of money day trading, though. You just got to be good at it. Day trading is? Waleed? Good morning. Thanks again for the insight. Carvana short squeeze. Mike Jones. 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, you know. The GOAT. I met Mike Jones. He was skinny. I remember Mike Jones as, like, you know, a little bit thicker. When I met him, he was skinny. A lot of these young guys don't understand what I just said. They're like, man, what is John talking about? I mean, culture yourself, guys. Listen, if y'all don't know that song, you're missing out on life here. I can only do a short transaction, only swings, no overnight holds, no nothing, only scalps and swings, no futures also because, yeah, I feel you. I get it. It might be the right move, though. I'm not even judging that, you know. Yeah, man. I had people who were, like, mean to me when I was young, when I was, like, a teenager, bro. Like, I had people that were mean. And, I was kind of awkward and nerdy. Certainly shy. It depends on when you caught me. You know, I was a lot like my son. I just have ADHD. If you hear it in how I speak, you could probably recognize it in how I talk. I'll get really hyper focused on like a specific subject, or I'll get, you know, my legs are constantly bouncing. Like if you ever see me and it looks like I'm shaking, I'm not shaking myself. My legs are bouncing up and down, and that makes it look like I'm shaking as a whole. But it's just my legs. I've got restless legs. But I don't know. I think people with ADHD, like I have it. And again, I like people that actually have it. I think everybody says they have it now for whatever reason. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people just, you know, just don't pay attention. And it's not because of ADHD. It's because they just, you know, they're on their phone too much and it messes with their attention span. But some people actually have it, you know, and my son certainly actually has it. I can see myself in my son in that he acts exactly like I do. He gets hyper fixated on things. It sometimes messes with his social circle because, you know, his friends will be talking about something and he'll blurt out something completely unrelated and then get hyper focused on it, and they're like, dude, be quiet, you know. And I can remember being the same way. I didn't really grow out of it until I never really grew out of it, but I never really was able to adapt socially until I was in like 8th grade, you know. But I think it's helpful for the channel. I think I can get hyper fixated and focused on business, and that can drive me to do more stuff than if not. PANW, I bought PANW yesterday. Ended up cutting it. And it's just too volatile right now. I think it might be a good buy. I think the sizing I was in is a little bit too uncomfortable. I ended up losing like $50 yesterday. That was one of our biggest losses yesterday. I think we still made money yesterday though. Yeah, portfolio wise, even though I'm selling shares, which should reduce how much I'm making every day because I'm selling shares, I'm still making money. And I definitely made money yesterday as well. So interesting time right now. Here's the NASDAQ over 18,000. Where's the lifetime highs versus the NASDAQ right now? So again, here's the lifetime highs on the NASDAQ, 18,121. I feel I'm doing things right. If I could be in a trade for an hour and not be in and out in 3 minutes, the more you're in, the more you can win. I think it depends, Angry. Kind of. I do agree with what you're saying to a certain extent. But I think you have to play it just right. I think it depends on what it is. The longer you hold a short position, the less likely you are to make money. If we're talking about intraday though, which is I think completely different, it just depends on if you're having an even risk reward in that situation. Like you can hold a day trade longer, and it can be justified. You can have good trades, justifiable trades to profit from if you hold it a long time as well, like intraday, like holding it for hours. As long as your risk reward is at the bare minimum even. You know, if you're risking $5 a share, you know, and your reward is at least $5 a share, then it's justifiable. What a lot of people end up doing is they cut their winners really quickly. Like they make money, they cut it, and then when they lose, they hold their losses a long time, and then it continues to go down on them. So they have these big losses and these small wins, and that happens a lot. So you just got to make sure you got the right system. And again, I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm not even claiming to be a good trader. We just kind of give people free stuff in markets, but. What do you think about AMD? Will AMD go up or crash? I don't know what it's going to do. I think it's going to move with Nvidia for the most part. I like AMD as a company. A little bit earlier stage microchip company, biggest competitor to Nvidia. But AMD and Nvidia tend to help each other in that way. Like, to put it into perspective, if anybody remembers this last year, right? So we remember we had the Q, and the Q was breaking down in 2023. This big disaster was happening. Not a disaster. Disaster's a little bit of an embellishment, but this big breakdown was happening here. Right, so this big breakdown was happening. And, you know, of course, the bears are out saying, oh no, you know, the market's going to fail. The market's going to crash. It's the end of the world. Sell now. It's doom and gloom. Like they do. Like bears tend to do. One of the things that revived this market right here, so specifically right there, AMD dropped their earnings. So AMD dropped their earnings, killed it with earnings, flew up. This single-handedly saved the market. It started pushing Nvidia up in sympathy. That started pushing the broader markets, the NASDAQ 100 up, and everything kind of followed suit. So AMD single-handedly saved the market last year. You know, earnings came in, the market the stock skyrocketed in price, and the rest is history. That year we had 24% gains on the S&P and NASDAQ, so just a crazy good year. Partly by AMD. As a fundamental company, though, I mean, I like it. It's a competitor to Nvidia. You know, PE wise, like extension wise, you could argue it's a little extended with the rest of the microchip sector, but you know, sometimes the market's nonsensical, and I think that's something that we're seeing now. Is AMD PE really 340? Let me take a look. I hear these crazy high PE ratios thrown up. All right, so anyways, checking out AMD here. We're at 77 cents plus 70 cents plus 58 cents plus very low yearly EPS, 60 cents. Did I mess something up here? Hold on, 0.77 plus 0.7 plus 0.58 plus 0.6. 265. All right, so 265 is the yearly EPS. AMD's current price right now is 181s. Yeah, I mean, AMD's PE ratio was slightly under 70, so it's not 250s. Maybe Ford PE is, but like regular PE is not. It's 68. Yeah, it's not the worst, but yeah, it's probably Ford PE. Yeah, and that's all good. A lot of people look at it. I'm just saying. Ford PE is still up in the air though, but like I get it. Is gold flying up? Let's check it out. Again, Nvidia almost back up to $800 right at that level now. Here's gold. Gold at 2030s. Gold's bouncing up a little bit. This is a pretty big move, but I think what I have to come to learn is that big moves are the most unpredictable. So in futures, if you when it happens, either you take the loss or what you would risk anyway, or boom. Yeah. Risk reward, 100%. Are you on ADHD meds? No. I can't take them, man. Again, if I take ADHD meds, I literally sit there quietly. Like, it's like, again, this is how, whether you really know if people have ADHD or not, right? If they take ADHD meds and they are bouncing off the freaking walls trying to go do all this different crap, going like speeding around, they don't have ADHD most likely. If they take ADHD meds, and this is a blanket statement, I don't mean it to be. There's certainly outliers and people that actually have it that might react differently to different things. And so again, not a medical professional, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I know I certainly have ADHD, and when I take ADHD meds, I get quiet, still, and I just kind of sit there. I don't move around a lot. I don't want to move around a lot. I just kind of sit there. Yeah, a lot of people are on meds that don't need to be, and they're just kind of... Yeah, definitely top 3 non in the world right now, Tactical. 100%, definitely. Top 3. Yes, that's how you know I agree. 100%. Yeah. A lot of people, but it's so widely prescribed now, right? Like, everybody's freaking on ADHD meds that, of course, like, if somebody's going around telling everybody they got ADHD and they're taking meds for it, you know, it's going to be hard for them to look at it objectively. They might get mad and tell me to be quiet, you know. That's how you know. But again, I could never take the meds. I like my sleep. I like food. And regardless of my reaction to it, I don't eat as much or sleep as much. And it's also, for me, it's about stability. Like, I would rather not be medicated and have a stable emotional, you know, day. Versus being medicated where I feel really, really good and then I feel really, really bad. Like, that doesn't sound good at all to me. I'd rather just be neutral. And when good things happen, I'm happy. When bad things happen, I'm sad. But it's balanced. Palantir starting to move up. It's at 2350s right now. Gold's still over 2030s. Nasdaq up to 18K. The chart in the middle is gold. It's gold futures. Yeah, like I said, Q or 86. It depends on the person, man. I'm just kind of joking around. I'm kind of joking around, but I'm also serious. I think those meds are wildly overprescribed. SQ breaking highs right now, almost up to $80 a share. So here's SQ. SQ up to 79.20s, 79.20s. SPY just pulled back. Yeah, I see the Nasdaq dip here, but I think we're also just in a broader trend. We can look at the E-mini, which is the SPY. You know, E-mini pulling back a little bit, but I think we could also argue we're in this broader trend right now. I have ADHD since I was 7. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of it is genetic. I know my son is exactly like I was, and I am in that way. And so I think it's genetic for sure. And I think people with ADHD tend to have, on average, a higher IQ. But I don't think it's always ADHD. I think people can. Again, and I'm not trying to say I'm smart. Definitely top 3 dumbest people in the world right now. But I think eccentricity and intelligence have a positive correlation. Now, whether that eccentricity is from ADHD or whatever is a different story. Carvana. Man, Carvana is up. Somebody was telling me to buy Carvana yesterday, and I didn't listen. Maybe I should have listened. Look at this. Carvana up to $70 a share. What a crazy gain for this one, man. This one is up from 350s back late 2022 all the way to 70 plus today. 71.50s at its high. So Carvana flying up. I'm assuming this is earnings related, no? At least the strategy I probably have most success with. Maybe, Brandon. I don't know. ARM? I'm still in ARM right now. Where's ARM? Alright, so ARM at 164s. At its highs from a couple days ago on the 12th. Still consolidating. I mean, it's still in ARM. I haven't sold yet. I'll probably just continue to hold it. Square pushing up. Nvidia still testing right around that $800 level. And this is a big level. This $800 spot's huge. Supermicro. Yeah, Supermicro semiconductors. All the way up at 950s almost 950s, 930s, but still all the way back up at 1,000. And I was worried about buying this. This thing went from almost 1,100 down to 700. Imagine the percentage drop that is, bro. That is like a over 30% drop. You know, from 1,100 down to 700, over 30%. So this thing dropped 30% in about 3 days, and then bounced back. Exactly 30% to 1,000. Reached 1,000 yesterday at the closing bell, and then since the close, it's dropped 10% from 1,000 to 900, and now it's back up. It's back up like 4 or 5% over the last hour and a half for Supermicro. Just crazy volatile, and Nvidia starting to push up as well. Nvidia over $800. We'll see if that holds also. Selling gold for all right, guys. Gold moving. Yeah, gold's up a little bit here. There's Carvana going absolutely nuts. Nvidia now under 800 bucks. Here's gold. Gold's moving pretty slow the last couple days, though. I mean, it's having a big range, but it's ending mostly flat. Super micro back up to almost 940s as well, though. Nvidia right over that 200 EMA. I partly want to buy the markets right now just because of this. I worry people are getting over enthusiastic with Nvidia. It might take a hit 6 to 9 months later. Are you meaning over enthusiastic on the upside, like as bulls, or over enthusiastic on the downside as bears? Nvidia's still back up to 800 bucks. As bulls, well, yeah, I mean, that could easily be argued. It's just up so much. It's up so much, like, especially since this year. Like, look at Nvidia. The craziest chart I think we can isolate here, number one, is if you put up a yearly chart for Nvidia. This is one of the craziest looking yearly charts, a 52-week chart. Again, you can see, 50 weeks ago or so, 50 weeks ago, Nvidia was roughly at 222s, 223s, so under 250. Today, it is up to $800 a share. And look at 2024 alone. This is 2024 alone's price action. 2024 has been absolutely insane moves, and to a certain extent, the earnings were justifying some of these moves. PE still objectively or conventionally high, I'll say, but earnings were good. And earnings have increased dramatically from EV taking a big run in markets. So would you argue that this is in an AI bubble? To a certain extent, yes. I think we are in at least a little bit of a bubble. But again, sometimes bubbles can even out. We saw it with Amazon. Amazon had a super high PE about a year ago. And its earnings came in and, brought it back up to where, Amazon's still doing really well. PE's much lower than it was. Earnings always can affect PE and price extension. And so now Amazon's at 170s. And so just because something is extended, it doesn't mean it's going to pull back. AI is certainly setting us up for something. It could keep up with this trend of growth. It could completely pop. I think either one of them is possible. I don't think anybody really knows for sure. I think we do have a lot of extension in AI companies, but I also think when you compare this to something like the online internet boom, right? The online internet boom in 2000, in the late 90s and 2000, followed by the 2000s crash. I would argue there were much more online stocks versus today with AI. Like, we got some AI stocks, we got like AMD, MU, stuff like that moving. But a lot of this is legacy companies versus like what we saw with the 2000 crash, which was a lot of new internet companies getting big over a couple years and doing crazy things, and then that bubble bursting. What we see with this is like a lot of this is like Microsoft, like Google, AMD, Nvidia's been around for a long time, and so these are legacy companies. And so in that regard, I think the bubble popping, I still think it could happen. I think it's certainly a possibility. I don't think anybody can argue it's not at least possible for this to happen, despite what they want to happen or anything like that. But I also think that hopefully, at least, and I'm hoping that the market is a little bit more resilient than 2000 because these are legacy companies that have been around for a century. Not a century, but they've been around for decades at least for most of them. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, like Meta, Nvidia, AMD. Most of these are big legacy companies. So it just depends. It depends on what earnings look like. Not just this earnings season is essentially over and it was good. So typically if the sky's gonna fall, it's gonna be during earnings season. This earnings season, the sky didn't fall, and most of them came in really solid. And so we're not correcting here from this earnings season. Next earnings season starts in late March, early April. Maybe not early April, or maybe not late March. It's probably mid-April, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I think either anything could happen. 100%. I think these companies are making a lot of money from AI, and I think a lot of people fear it, and so they tend to be skeptical of things they fear. They fear what they don't understand, and so a lot of people are acting like AI is just not like AI is just worthless, which is just completely silly. You know, again, like imagine, okay, and I was explaining this to my wife yesterday. My wife was asking me about AI, Sora. ChatGPT Sora, which is a text to video AI. Text to video. Imagine that. Like, imagine how crazy useful that is. Text to video. I can type something out and AI will create me a video about what I specifically typed. Imagine how useful that will be for all facets of business. You know, I could say, yo, Sora, give me a scene in which a man walks up to a woman in a bus and asks for bubblegum. You know, make the man look like this, make the woman look like this, you know, bam. And it'll produce a video of exactly what I typed. You know, a man walking up to a woman asking for bubblegum in a bus, right? I could say, next scene, using the same man and woman, make me a scene in which the man brings the woman to meet his wife, or to meet his mom. You know, make the mom look like this, or whatever I want to do with it, and it'll create that for me. As a creator myself on social media, that's gonna make content production so much easier. Like, imagine how easy I can produce content now with something like that. I'm excited for it personally, and that's just one facet of it. There's so many different ways to use this stuff: programming, writing, scripting, editing, videos. Like, it changes technology production as a whole in a huge way, in an absolutely huge way. And I think it's very self-evident. It's very self-evident. And again, I think people fear it, and so they discount it. But I think that AI really is that game-changing technology. The question is whether the stocks will hold these crazy gains, and whether AI will keep up with these stock prices is the real question. And I don't know. It's going to eliminate the need for actors, maybe. It's certainly going to eliminate the need for a lot of, like, the biggest, like, people are wondering, like, how is AI going to replace jobs? AI is going to replace jobs specifically in a couple different, like, the biggest impact right now that I see the biggest impact I see right now using AI is editors, digital design work, digital design work and editing is going to be massively changed from AI. An example of this is like photography. You know, photography, super in trouble. Photography is in a lot of trouble because, again, as a real estate agent, just using this as an example, I can get headshots created for me in real estate and have nobody take pictures of me. You know, previously in real estate in like 2015, if I wanted headshots, I'd have to get dressed, put on a suit, go to a photographer and pay him at least $100 usually, drive away, go do all this stuff, pay them money, wait, finally get the pictures back, so forth and so on, right? Like, that was the standard. Photographers would make money, like all this different stuff. Now I can send a selfie of myself to AI and say, hey, make me a real estate headshot using a very nice home in the background as a real estate headshot, and AI will populate that image. Like an example, I can use Gemini. Let me see if it'll let me do it. Oh, I can send pictures too. Ooh, okay. I think I have pictures of myself. Let me find these headshots. See, downloads. trying to find these old pictures of myself. I know I have some in my phone. I'm trying to see if Gemini will do it for me. All right, Nvidia still over 800s. So I can keep going back. All right, so number one, this is an AI generated headshot. Okay, so this is an AI generated headshot. All right, so this is one. It doesn't quite look like me. Something's a little bit off with it, but that's all right. Here's another one. I guess I'll use this one, but this is an AI generated headshot, right? This is itself. My lips a little off, but that's okay. This one's a little off too, but that's all right. This is the best example I got. Let me save this real quick. I think it might already be there. Yeah, okay. So I can go to Gemini. Let me upload images. Got it. All right, I've never even tried this on Gemini right now. I said, create me a real estate hedge. They said, sorry, I can't help with images of people yet. Ah, man. That's all right. Not yet. Eventually it will. Windows is super, or yeah, AI super early. I mean, the big thing, the good news, yeah, 100%. The lifestyle or the life cycle of the internet is a good blueprint for the life cycle of AI potentially here. The good news here, guys. So, like, we've talked about some good things, some bad things. The good news is that there's business opportunities about this, right? Like this is the early stages of the internet, guys. Remember, this is the early stages of the internet. What it means is that everybody watching this right now has a chance to create businesses or get involved with businesses around AI right now. Everybody has a chance. We're still super, super early in this. And so if you're smart, you isolate some good sectors of business to get involved with this. You figure out ways to monetize different things. The potential is super big right now, super big. And so again, I get it. A lot of people fear AI. I understand, but I don't think you should. Top 3 graphic designers in the world right now. Yeah. There's so many restrictions. Far scarier than the internet. Yeah. Tesla's playing with my feelings. Tesla currently... All right, guys. So E-mini is breaking down. It's at almost 50. All right, so Nvidia all the way up to 801.40s, guys. 801.40s. SQ still ripping up. Yeah, I'm playing with Gemini right now in the background. I'm seeing what it'll allow me to do and what it won't. The Q up at 437.90s. Nvidia almost up to 802s. What? Dude, okay, bro. Ugh. I'm not saying... Oh. Okay. I'm not... Never mind. I'm not saying Gemini's not good. It's so restrictive. It's so restrictive. Which is kind of... Is ChatGPT... Does ChatGPT allow me to do... Does ChatGPT allow me to do images? Like Gemini? Or no? Not yet. Anybody know? Yeah, but when does Sora come out is the question. Sheesh. It's giving me other options, I guess. I'm trying to get a picture of Nvidia growing while other people stand around in shock. And it said, we can't do that because harmful stereotypes. But we can do this. Look at the SPY bounce up. Nvidia testing 804s right now. 804s. All right, Q up to 438. Look at the E-mini rip. Okay, so yeah. Caesar, is trading your main source of income? No. Yeah. No. I mean, I'm not, my channel's called Beginner Trading. I'm not claiming to be some super good expert or anything like that. Yeah. Do you understand the market price fluctuation between 8 and 8:05 a.m. like Nvidia and other stocks going from 7.95 to 8:06 in 5 minutes? This big gain here, I mean, this is probably just normal price action for pre-market. There's the E-mini. See, E-mini, look, guys, so we drew this trend well earlier. All right, we drew this trend, and let's follow through on the trend. Let me extend this actually to the right is going to be the easier way. Look at how closely it matches the trend we drew here. So let's look at the top of the trend. Let's see if the E-mini continues to fit within this trend. Look at the Q rip up. Look at Nvidia rip up. We got a lot of tech strength today, team. A lot of tech strength. Again, SQ broke highs, got almost up to $80 a share. Nvidia ramping up. AMD moving up, almost green on the day. Google's been doing pretty good. It's almost at 150s. Microsoft up to 413s today. Crazy. JDM cars or American Muscle? I don't know, man. I'm personally, I have a soft spot for JDM because that's what I grew up with. What I raced growing up was JDM. Although I do also have a soft spot for Muscle, but I'm going to go with JDM just because that's what I grew up with. Alright, so there we go. I missed SQ. Yeah, SQ went crazy. Yeah, I'm a JDM guy at heart for sure. Alright, guys. Again, we are going to be day trading today. We are going to be day trading live. We're going to be day trading the NASDAQ, day trading the E-mini, day trading the Q. I'm going to do a poll here today, and it's going to ask people, are you day traders? Do you day trade futures? It's going to be the question. Yes or no? The caution, all this is pre-market. It's entirely possible when the market opens under full buy or sell volume, it sells off. 100%, yeah. Top 3 typers in the world right now. What are your thoughts on Google would be able to maintain? That's something I have no idea, Harsh. I hope it succeeds. I'm in Google, I believe still. I believe I'm still in Google. And I hope it wins. I hope it succeeds. But no idea whether it will or not. Yeah, you got to make trading simple. It depends on what it is, though. Like, all trading's not simple. It depends on what it is. What is Dolly? What is Dolly? Let me ask ChatGPT. Okay, so Dolly can do it. Alright, so yeah, I'm asking about Dolly. Dolly does very same thing, a very similar thing as Gemini. Okay. Carvana will dump. Yeah, Carvana's up a ton right now. When does German GDP numbers come out? Let me look it up. Yeah, we don't really have much going on today, economics-wise. Their GDP numbers are not today. Yeah, I don't see their numbers anytime soon. I'm looking at our poll numbers here. It's interesting to see how many day traders we have. Vote on the poll for me. Let me know if you day trade futures. Tesla's holding support real well. Came out in the Euro morning. Yeah, it's overseas. I don't really follow that a ton. Again, the queue up to 439s here, guys. 439s. All right, guys. Nvidia up to 802s, almost 803s. This is going to be single-handedly influential over markets without question. Okay. Alright guys, so we're gonna get ready to day trade. Alright.
Hello.
Hey bud. How you doing, man?
Good.
Love you, buddy.
Love you.
Have a great day, man.
Bye.
Alright. I use Quant Tower, Top Step X. Do you trade the Dow? Sometimes. Sometimes we do. It just depends. Minus 2% or minus 0.2% year over year, minus 3% month on month. Yeah, I don't know if I'm monetized right now. Let me see. Oh, I'm not. Monetization is off. My bad. I forgot. Thank you, sir, for the reminder. Alright guys, so we're gonna get ready to day trade. Y'all ready? Does my wife have my card? She does. Ugh. Alright, sorry. Alright guys, look at the Q rip up. It's almost up to 440s right now. The E-mini's still in that trend that we talked about earlier. Still in that trend. We'll see if it ends up breaking down. We are going to get ready to day trade here. Let's get ready. All right. We are now up to 804s on Nvidia, 804s. 804s, Q pushing up. We're gonna get ready to day trade. Let's do it. All right, so let's pull it up. All right, so here's the Nasdaq. Here's the Nasdaq. Again, we're gonna get ready to day trade. We're gonna put these other three up in the middle, specifically, or Nvidia here on the right. And the Q up on the right side, which is Nvidia here as well. Anything else you guys want up, let me know. All right, so we're bouncing up a little bit. Put up super micro semiconductor. I use the Nasdaq. Your Nasdaq chart's not doing good. Yeah, it depends on which way we look at it. I might have to reset Quant Tower, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Palantir at 2350s, 2350s. Alright, so we're back up in Quant Tower. We are going to be trading on our funded account today. Gotta wait for it to connect. How many trades do you think you're going to do today? I would say between 10 and 20. Between 10 and 20 is usually kind of my go-to, I would say. You know, for whatever reason, I'm one Quant Tower's acting kind of weird, but that's all right. I don't know if pre-market data is taken into consideration. Maybe I could put the regular E-mini up and we'll look at that instead. All right, so here's the regular E-mini. Nvidia dipping down a little bit here. We'll see if that holds. All right, so again, I'm bullish here, I guess, on the E-mini. We'll go ahead and play with this. We're gonna take one contract here, the regular, and we might add to it as well. All right, so we're in one contract here. We might add a little bit more to this. I'm betting basically Nvidia is going to bounce up here, and this is going to drag my trade up. I don't mind taking a little loss here. We're going to start taking some risks today in this account. I'm basically betting that Nvidia is going to bounce up. I'd love to trade the Nasdaq, but it's running into some issues. All right, so we might add a little bit more and take 3 contracts. Alright, so we might end up cutting this. I'm not going to add any more to this. Yeah, we'll probably switch down to micros. SQ bouncing up a little bit. Hey.
Hey, you see Jack's phone?
No. Hey. Look in my underwear drawer. Sorry, guys. Too much information there. Y'all will be all right. I took away my son's phone. I'm trying to think of where I put it. Alright, so we did get a little bounce up. Alright, so we did get a little bounce up. I guess I could have let that hold, but it's all good. Still waiting for some trades to get involved with. I guess that would have worked. Alright, so I guess I'm using it under a different email. Let me see. Sent. All right, so there's the big rip up. So got faked out a little bit. My plan was right. A little bit too early, though. Well, yeah, just to give some perspective, I'm banning James here because for whatever reason, this guy has been super weird and obsessive. This is the Jesse guy with a different account. He makes multiple different accounts. For whatever reason, he actually, like, one thing that we saw a couple weeks ago was that he would create a fake account that was subscribed to himself, who has a very small YouTube channel, right? And so you know it's him because he's subscribed to himself. He would create a fake account and be really hyper, like, critical, like sit around waiting to criticize, right? And I think in one instance he actually insulted my wife. And then when I responded negatively to it, he then pivoted to another account that he didn't realize that I would be able to connect him to, and then be like, oh man, John, you should ignore the haters. You respond to the haters so much. And so it's super weird being on YouTube, guys. Genuinely weird. You got weird, obsessive people like this, where he insults, like, my wife personally. When I respond negatively to that, he signs into a different name and then criticizes my response, like I should just learn to ignore the haters, and then creates another account. The whole thing just gets super freaking weird. Like, you gotta wonder what this dude's doing in life, man. Like off-putting for sure. Super strange, dude. Super freaking weird. And it's like, I obviously can connect them together, but, like, dude, what are you doing, man? Like, find something else to do. And again, it goes back to my saying, nobody is a bigger hater than somebody who operates a failed YouTube channel. Somebody that runs a failed YouTube channel are the biggest, most critical haters in the world. Top 3 for sure. Right, and he's trying to make it seem like it's more than one person, but it's just off, dude. It's cringe, man. Yeah, it's off, man. Cost of doing business, 100%. All right, guys. Hey, market's breaking highs. It would have worked. The trade would have worked. But, you know. At 439s right now, 439s. Yeah, he was already under the list. Like, Pawn and I will message people. I'll be like, hey, bro, you see this dude? This dude changed names. Still got the same person. Still the same person in the picture. I was like, I bet you he'll come out saying something negative. And then sure enough, there it goes. Super easy to spot. You know, trolls, you got to get better, man. You know, super weird. Off. Just strange, you know. It really is kind of to the point where it's like, you know, he puts the lotion on the skin, kind of weird, like just generally off-putting. You know what I mean? And again, I'm here to say it with complete seriousness. If you're in here stalking me, being weird, creating fake accounts, like, reevaluate what you're doing in life. You know, like, you could be focusing on building yourself up and doing so many different things than obsessing over John at beginner trading with 500 people watching. Who cares what I'm doing? Cheers to the supportive people in here, though. You know, appreciate the love, guys. Hey, nice, Connor. Hey, what's up, Boiler Room? What's up, brother? Hope you're doing good, man. It is almost concerning, dude. 100%. That's exactly what it is, Canoe. 100%. But again, misery loves company. Lashing out at people because they're doing stuff that you wanted to do is just silly, you know? one of the top 3 real people in the world right now. Hey, yeah, they're cleaned up. We gave them a nice bath yesterday. All right, E-mini up there at 5,100. And with that said, my channel's been growing like crazy, man. Like, we had the most people we've ever had on Nvidia earnings. We had 14,000 people, not quite 14K. It was like 13.7 thousand concurrent viewers on the Nvidia stream. And so again, I don't want to seem like I'm too negative, because then the trolls will come out and be like, oh, John's being too negative. But I genuinely appreciate the true supporters here. I really do. Again, it really goes to show that, like, I can go on YouTube, tell people I have no idea what I'm doing, and have no idea what I'm talking about, not to copy me, and that I'm not even a good trader, and still gain thousands and thousands of subscribers. And so I appreciate the love. Do you think NASDAQ breaks highs today? I think it can. Whether it will is a different story. I think it can. I'm not sure if it's going to. I think it can. How much do you set aside for taxes? I typically overpay taxes. I pay tens of thousands of dollars a year in taxes. Trading taxes are much less. Again, I'm not claiming to be some super good, rich day trading guru. I certainly don't live purely off of my trading profits in any way. I'm green so far this year by a pretty big margin, in my opinion, right? It's all subjective. What's big is subjective. But I made money last year as well. So we're making, we're making money in the markets. At least our end of year P&L is green on TOS and Thinkorswim, AMD going up right now. Gap target. I mean, most trading, like, it's probably 95.5 or even less, male to female. I use a bunch of different services regarding releases, Mikey. I use MarketWatch, I use Benzinga, I use a bunch of different services to figure out what releases are going to happen and when. Most of that's pretty public knowledge, though. It's not really, it's not software, it's web-based. No, we got some females in here. We used to have more females in here. The traders don't last very long, regardless of who they are, right? Like, traders just in general don't last very long. Most traders try trading, lose a bunch of money. They might stick around for like a year and then you never see them again. Like, it's a revolving circle. We've had so many regular members that have showed up, hung out for a few months, a year, and then left, and you never see them again. Some of them stick around. Like, some of y'all have been here for a long time. But again, I think it's just the nature of day trading in general. I think most day traders lose, and I think most people don't stick around doing it a very long time. And so, yeah, I think that's just kind of the nature of it. All right, so we got a big pullback in the E-mini here, big pullback. I appreciate the ones that are still here. You know, I really do. All right, so we got a little dip here. Again, Palantir pulling back, Google dipping down a little bit, Nvidia pulling back to 800 bucks. I tend to be bullish at this spot, but I'm probably going to switch to micros. I guess we'll buy a little bit. We're gonna try to scale in here and take a longer term trade, because I see the Nvidia right at this volume weighted average price level. So if we bounce there, we could have a little bit better action. We're going to trade pretty small. Yeah, let me throw it in sub-only mode as well, team. If we haven't already subscribed, I appreciate it. All right, so we're green a little bit. Yeah, I'm long right now. It's a little baby trade. I'll probably add to it if we pull back a little bit more to fix my average here. So yeah, there's 2 contracts. It's the micro NASDAQ though, so it's going to be much smaller range. And again, I'm essentially betting that Nvidia is going to bounce at this VWAP level, which it kind of already has. So yeah. Patience is definitely not my virtue. Besides the sponsorship, what made you try to keep going with this channel? So, I mean, you got to understand me as a person. I was always a strategy person, like checkers, poker, chess, games in general, right? So I always loved games, was always a big strategy person. And so when I learned about trading, I got obsessed with it for a long time. But again, despite that obsession, in the beginning, I lost thousands of dollars very quickly trying to day trade. Most day traders lose, right? So in the beginning, I just lost thousands and thousands of dollars very, very quickly, which is normal for most new day traders, right? It's what I always try to say. Go to a funded account program. Top Step's my sponsor. Check them out. And what these funded account programs do is they give you a demo and they test your skill. And if you could pass the test, they fund you between 50 to 150K as long as you follow their rules. When you're trying to get funded. If you don't pass the test, you're going to lose so much less than most day traders do in the beginning if they go the regular route, putting the money up yourself. I put up 4K, used leverage, lost it very, very, very quickly. And so it makes no sense, in my opinion, as a brand new day trader to put the money up yourself. It just makes no sense. Instead, you can try a funded account program. In the futures market, I'm basically day trading the QQQ right now. It's basically the same thing. The same price action. The price is different. There's other nuances that are different, but it's basically the QQQ I'm trading. Patterns are very similar to something like Nvidia, Apple, and I'm looking at Nvidia and I'm using that to base my trades around, but there's no PDT rule in futures. And so I can day trade short. You can see me buy market, sell market in extended hours. And it's just a lot better to learn to day trade that way than versus putting thousands of dollars up yourself in the market and losing, which is what happens to most people. And again, if you want to check it out, Top Step's my sponsor. Again, I always give the same thing. Remember, I am terrible at this stuff and have no idea what I'm talking about. Good luck in the market, guys. Understand this. We are trading on some funded account programs and combines and stuff like that. So understand that rule. But yeah, if you want to check it out, here's the link. Nothing from Powell lately. The next time Powell speak is in something called the Semi-Annual Monetary Policy Report to Congress in early March. That's the next time we'll hear from Powell, and then after that's the FOMC meeting in March. So yesterday I lost my account after that crazy bullish market when I was not expected. I learned a great lesson and how I have a scenario in my head that can happen. Yeah, the biggest skill you can have in trading, in day trading specifically, is simply limit your size in the beginning. There's no reason. I get it. You watch people on YouTube and they're making thousands and doing all this cool stuff. I get it. But the single biggest edge you can have in the beginning is small size in the market. It really is. All right, so we're going to take half off here, lock the profit in. That's the single biggest edge you can ever have. You can get a good sample size in. If you're super emotional about your trades, you're trading too large. You're simply trading too large. And so limit your risk, limit your size, limit your emotion, scale down your size. That's something I preach pretty regularly as well. All right. All right, so we're in this right now, guys. I gotta run, go grab something. And so watch this trade for me, guys. I'll probably add some more to it too, I think, and just let it work longer term, I think, here. Again, Nvidia's starting to move up. I like the strength. I'm gonna add to it down here. So we got 2 contracts here. We already made a little bit from the trade, so it's not the end of the world. Hopefully it doesn't break down too much for me. If it starts to crash, yell at me. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Hey, you love to see it. What a pleasant return. I'm going to take half off here. You love to see it. All right, I had to go grab something. We're still up here. Towards the top of the range. I'm going to go ahead and take that off. So we just locked in some more profit. Still pretty flat day for me overall, but all right, so we are ripping up towards highs here. Yeah, I see somebody talking about chart prime. You know, again, I can't guarantee you're going to make money. But look, you want to know why? I mean, I'm not, this isn't the whole only reason I was bullish, but like, look at this. Buy signal, beautiful bounce. Strong sell signal drop. This one was wrong. This one was right. So out of the last 4, 3 out of 4 of these were correct. You know, People always trying to figure out something I'm doing wrong and looking to get weird, but like, I'm obviously, you know, supportive of Chart Prime and use them pretty decent amount of time. This coming Monday, I think next week the first half of the week is slow, and then it'll heat back up the mid part of the week, I think, is what I'm expecting here. So yeah, next week we got durable goods, Case-Shiller, CB consumer confidence Tuesday. Wednesday we got GDP data coming out. Raphael Bostic speaking, Atlanta Fed president. Thursday we got jobless claims, PCE, pending home sales. Friday we have a whole gang of Fed speakers March 1st, so it'll be interesting. I have indicators, but I have, again, a lot of people misunderstand it. I have 4 monitors, guys. I've got two 34 ultra wide stacked on top of each other, and then two 27 inches on my left and right side. And so, again, it's not that I don't do a lot of different stuff that y'all are thinking I do, or thinking I don't do. It's that I have multiple monitors, so y'all see a piece of what I'm doing. Y'all don't see everything, certainly. So yeah. I don't know what the market does. I hope we get a bounce. Caesar, ask them, brother. Ask them, man. I mean, that's, again, you're asking things that are above my pay grade, bro. Ask them, dude. I just use them, and I'm an affiliate of theirs. They're a partner of theirs. All right, so we might buy this dip again. We're going to have to wait a little bit. We entered our first one here. We're going to have to wait for a much larger dip to get a good average, or we're just going to keep it 1 and just super tight and small. We're keeping it light until the opening bell in about 30 minutes, guys, so that's what we're doing here. If you're wondering why it's so small of size, we're just kind of hanging out waiting. We might day trade some stocks, too. Here's Nvidia. Part of me wants to buy Nvidia here. SQ breaking highs. I could also buy the Q directly here with the amount of buying power I have. Is this a NASDAQ live stream? Futures, yes. Are you still in Snap? Yes, I am. I'm still in Snap. Where's Snap at? Green on the day, red at the overall trade. It's not a big position, though. We're almost flat on the day, so something's bouncing back. Still in ARM. I'm just going to add to this. We got 2 contracts now. We're horsing around with it. Again, such small trades right now. So we're kind of flat over the last group of trades. I guess we're going to cut it. We'll scale up towards the open, I think. I tend to have a habit of getting out right at the freaking lows in pre-market. But again, we're going to try to stream a little bit longer after the opening bell too, I think. Yeah, so again, my prediction was correct here. Just been getting stopped out around the lows this second time. Yeah, low liquidity means pre-market's hard. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't care about cutting. I mean, to be honest, this is all kind of chump change to me. My thinkorswim account's got I'm not even trying to brag. Don't think I'm bragging here because I'm not. Like, there's traders that have way more than I do. But 20 bucks is very small in trading terms for me. My toss account's got like a $250,000 in buying power. Over that, I think, actually. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, we have over day trading buying power. We got over a $250,000 on toss. So, I mean, we'll be all right. NQ is just the NASDAQ 100 futures contract, Steve, if you're trading futures. NQ, you should be able to, on TradingView, type in NQ and get it. I think TradingView automatically rolls over the contract. But yeah. Are we going to enter recession anytime soon? I don't think so. I mean, recession is technically defined as 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters. Again, consecutively. And we're just not there yet. I think GDP comes out next week. The expectations for that are for... Let me see if it's out yet. They typically take a little while to put up the expectations, but I don't think... Let me see. Again, it drops next Wednesday. Okay, so it is out, I think. Yeah, GDP expectations for 3.3%. 3.3%. So again, not anywhere close to negatives. Now, it doesn't mean this can't change or fluctuate, but right now we're nowhere close to a recession. Again, if it's and what Jerome Powell specifically said in the last press conference was that he doesn't think we're going to hit one. He thinks we're going to accomplish a soft landing, but it's just the most probable thing. It's not the base case, us hitting a recession, but it's still possible, is what he said essentially during the last FOMC. So it's unlikely we're going to hit a recession anytime soon, but it's still possible. So keep your eyes open, I guess, is the easiest way to put it. Bro, we get it. You're a fast typer. You're mad, bro? What are you mad about, dude? I'm dealing with work on the back end for me. So we're dealing with stuff on the back end of YouTube. Running a YouTube channel, you got to deal with a lot of businesses, a lot of different things. So we're having some communication with, yeah. Top 3 typers in the world right now. Don't make me pull out a typing test. Somebody accused me of smashing buttons one time and just clicking random buttons. How dare you? Oh, I know. He's joking. I'm joking him. I'm trolling him back. NASDAQ popping over highs here. So NASDAQ just broke highs. I should have held it, guys. Top 3 worst exits in the world right now. I should have held it. Yes, Steve. And a lot of people should be trading futures over Forex. John the Button Masher. Sounds like a wrestler. Like a professional wrestling nickname. The real question of the day is who's going to win? O'Malley or Marlon Vera? That's the real question. O'Malley or Vera, guys, who wins? All right, hey, we got 25 minutes. Yeah, I took typing as well. One of my favorite teachers ever was my typing teacher. Miss Johnson was her name. She was the coolest teacher I've ever had. O'Malley, yeah, I mean, I think O'Malley's gonna win. Vera could win, and I'm not trying to discredit Vera. Palantir push it up, right? Palantir is pushing up some. I'm not trying to discredit Marlon Vera at all, right? I'm really not. But O'Malley hurt his leg in the last fight. O'Malley hurt his leg, so I think that's kind of what we're seeing here. Is like O'Malley's leg was hurt. So a nice little bounce back up. We're going to go ahead and take half of that off, lock in some here again. Kind of going back and forth today, though. Again, we did get bounces at Nvidia right at that VWAP 200 EMA level, so. Alright, so we got this nice rip up over highs. We're going to go ahead and lock that in. So, not bad. I mean, again, we're kind of flat the last couple trades, but that's okay. Day trading at pre-market's kind of like that. There's the Q ripping up. There's Nvidia still kind of bouncing sideways here. Alright, so we need a pullback to really want to day trade this. We got 20 minutes left. A little bit too extended on the upside, maybe too high of a probability of a pullback. Google's testing 144s now. Alright, so we got a little pullback. Frankly, it's not enough, though, I think. Still not enough of a pullback. I still need to wait a little bit. Palantir moving up some, almost up to 2340 or 23. Yeah, 2350s. Previous close, so basically flat on the day, though. What are you guys doing? How are you guys doing today? You guys making some money? What are you guys doing? Huge green candle coming at the open. Maybe. What is going to happen to Tesla? I don't know. I'm in Tesla right now. I hope it bounces back. We're kind of sitting tight waiting on it. It's up on the last few days, down in pre-market this morning. Had a big rip at the close yesterday, though, with everything else. Nvidia still over 800 at 803s, holding over that 200 EMA volume weighted average price level here. So you can see those two levels holding. All right, so we are testing those highs again, a little bit too high. Consolidating a little bit up there. I'm trying to look at other tech stocks. Here's Meta. Meta's at almost 500 again. It's at 490. It's had a crazy good day yesterday also. All right, thanks, Freddie. Appreciate it, Freddie. Thanks, bro. Does it feel like tech's in a bubble? Maybe. Do you think directional bias destroys traders in anything? No, I think mostly what happens to traders, and again, this happens to me, this happens to everybody, I think, for the most part, and it definitely happens to new traders, is that I think what destroys most traders is, I call it the snowball effect. Traders get started. They lose a little bit of money on the day. Most of the time, they might even be profitable, right? They make money, everything's all good, everything's all fine. They make money. Then one day they have a rough day and they lose a couple $100. And then for whatever reason, they just don't have discipline that day. They swing a little bit more. They lose more money. They lose $400. Then they lose $600. Then they lose $800. Before you know it, they're down so much that they're kind of like, screw it, I'm just going to swing for the fences right now. Then they lose on that trade and their whole account's gone. That destroys profits. Huge, massive drawdowns from the snowball effect. Destroys more traders' profits than anything else, in my opinion. NASDAQ testing highs, Nvidia right around the highs of the day. Right around the highs of the day. And again, that's happened to me and any trader here that's probably happened to at least once before. But yeah, that's typically what happens, I think. Yeah, but I guess the real question, Corey, is why are you investing in terrible, terrible penny stocks? You know? That's the real question. Look at a weekly chart with that stock, bro. The weekly chart on that stock you just talked about looks like this, brother. I'm not trying to hate on your stock, dude. But like, that's the weekly chart. That's the long-term chart of that stock. Just not good chart. And you might say, oh, well, it's extended on the downside. There's no such thing as downward extension for penny stocks. Penny stocks will continue going down until they get delisted, go to pink sheets, and then get booted off the pink sheets eventually, and everybody loses money. That's what happens with these. When was it at that price? I don't see any time it was at that price. It's current. The lowest it's been over the last few weeks was about a week ago at 13 cents. Nvidia pushed it up, dragging the NASDAQ up with it. Palantir moving up a little bit too. Oh, you must be talking about 16 cents, Corey, I'm assuming. Yeah, you're talking about 16 cents. I mean, good luck, bro. Good luck, dude. I hope you make money. All right, guys, 12 minutes. 12 minutes until the market opens. Again, we are going to be day trading futures at the opening bell live. Get ready. We are going to be doing it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Sorry, never mind. I'm one of those guys that drums around on everything. Like I sit there and ADHD is what I blame for it. Block is up 18% from earnings. I heard the earnings weren't even that good. What were the earnings for Block? They were revenue 5.77 billion. What were the expectations for it? EBITDA 570 to 590 guidance. They missed EPS, beat sales by a small margin. Why are they up so much? I mean, I'm okay with it. Go ahead. Cash App. This is an old playlist I've had for years. This playlist is old. It's just old. Q just broke highs. 440s. What's the lifetime highs on the Q? All right, if Q opens up here, we're breaking lifetime highs. If the Q opens up here, lifetime high break. Yep. So if the Q opens up at this level, it's higher than it's ever been before. Nvidia around lifetime highs. Good guidance. Gotcha. Nasdaq breaking highs again. Look at the Q up almost 440s. This is crazy. Just ridiculous movement here. Yeah, Fridays are sketchy for futures, but look at the Nasdaq and Nvidia all breaking highs. Fourth most valuable company on the planet. You sure it's not top 3? Palantir now higher than it was yesterday. We got about 7 minutes left, team. 7 minutes left. Here, sorry. I know I got all these notifications. Listen, I'm just a popular dude. What can I say? You know? When you're as cool as me and you're this handsome and you got a beautiful library and this greatest trading setup of all time and you're just super smart and you're also super humble, I mean, it's just hard for people not to message you. You know what I mean? Nvidia almost up to 806. Lifetime highs are at over $800 for Nvidia. If it opens up and it holds these gains over the next 6.5 minutes, it will be breaking lifetime highs. The previous lifetime highs for Nvidia during actual market hours are 785. So one thing's almost certain. We're almost certainly going to be breaking lifetime highs as soon as the opening bell happens and it confirms it. 806 is the current pre-market high. But regardless of whether we're over that or not, lifetime highs are registered during market hours. And so technically, the previous lifetime high right now is at 785 for Nvidia, right around that. Pre-market doesn't count until market open, but it looks like it's going to at least hold. It's testing that level now heading into the open as well. Super interesting dynamic for this. Still testing highs. Look at Nvidia run. The Crimson Chin. Top 3 chins in the world right now. Definitely top 3 worst trader of all time, Kimberly. 100%. Yeah, business. I feel bad. Like, I got so much stuff running in the background that, like, one of my biggest flaws is that I'll make commitments and then have to break them because other stuff comes up and stuff like that. It's just stressful. Very difficult, but All right, guys, here we go. 5 minutes, five little minutes here. We'll see what happens. Nvidia at 806s here. 806s just broke the high of the day for Nvidia. We got less than 5 minutes before the opening bell. Honestly, kind of crazy here, team. Really kind of crazy. Market's up so much. Should we short super micro semiconductors? You could do it, bro. I'm not doing it. The only thing I would consider is buying a put option, and just be okay with risking whatever that put option cost is. You know, that's the only way I would do it. Fourth, yeah. I mean, it was mostly a joke. But hey. Testing highs again. Again, Nvidia up there. 807s. Chaos right now, team. Please teach me how to trade options? Dude, having me teach you how to trade options. Let me think of the best analogy I could ever give here. Top 3 best analogies ever coming up. I just got to think of it. Now I'm just drawing a blank. The pressure's on me, guys. The pressure's on me. What are your thoughts on holding blank chargers? I don't trust them at all. No, I don't have a course on options. Okay, here's the best analogy ever. Me teaching you how to trade options would be like Ned Stark teaching you how to not get his head cut off. All right, that's the best analogy I got right now. Vote on it. Let me know 1 to 10 how good that analogy is. If it's not top 3, you know, you're missing out. Definitely top 3 best analogies ever. I think I killed it with that one. Came up with it on my own in my head. Top 3 thinkers in the world right now. Nvidia up to 807.30s. Just broke highs again right before the opening bell. We got the Q at almost 440s. All right, guys, here we go. 6.5, fair. You know, fair. Yeah, I mean, Nvidia could certainly drop. If you're not a Game of Thrones watcher, you're not going to understand the analogy, but that's all right. All right, guys, 2 minutes. $808 for Nvidia. Where's Kanye West at? Yeah, funny pawn. I can't use it, unfortunately. I don't know how much better mine was, but you know me, I'm careful. Super Micro breaking down right now as Nvidia break high. Super Micro down to 930s. Here we got a minute and a half until the opening bell. One thing's almost certain, that Nvidia is going to be breaking lifetime highs at the opening bell. At least the previous lifetime high is 785 is going to be broken at the opening bell, considering we're at 808s. Palantir at 2350s. All right, guys, we got 1 minute. 1 minute. Again, Super Micro, break it down to under volume weighted average price. That's a big dynamic that you want to watch, of Super Micro versus Nvidia moving up. Very weird. Nvidia breaking highs, Super Micro breaking down. I guess they're not really competitors to each other in that way, but they're both microchip related and move with sympathy and microchips. So there's Nvidia. I'm gonna put Super Micro on the bottom chart here just so we can watch it as well. Super Micro at 937.70s. Hey, thank you, Doctor. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. All right, here's the opening bell. 20 seconds. Team, 20 seconds. All right, here's the bell. I wonder if it's half the time it ding ding dings, the other half it doesn't. It did it. It did it. Look, Nvidia at 808's lifetime high broken from 785s. Again, Nvidia down to 805s. Supermicro breaking down a little bit. We got some weakness at the open. All right, guys, let's see what happens here. Again, Supermicro open, Nvidia open. They're both dipping down some. I don't know if they're necessarily weak enough to be anything significant, but what's up, Connor? Hey, brother, why'd you stop posting on YouTube, dude? Let me look at your channel, bro. It's been a while since I looked at it. I always struggle with your last name, dude. I always struggle. Is it Plufferoni? Huh. What is it? Polifroni. Yeah. There it is. Oh, you're still posting. Hey, y'all go sub to Connor. All right, market breaking highs. NASDAQ breaking lifetime highs just now. NASDAQ got up to over lifetime highs. I'm pretty sure it was over the lifetime highs on the NASDAQ. The previous NASDAQ lifetime highs were 181. Yeah, over lifetime highs. Well over it for the NASDAQ here. Nvidia going up there, but man, craziness. Yeah, definitely top 3. S&P would be down over 50% of the year. Here's NASDAQ finally pull it back. I guess I kind of want to buy this up. We're going to take the risk. We're going to buy this thing up. We're going to try to add to it and play with it. One of the top 3 worst dip buys of all time. Look at Supermicro, though, guys. Man, I can't add any more to this. It's all good, I guess. We're going to switch to trading regular NASDAQs as well here. We're in 2 contracts now. After this trade, we're going to switch to regular. All right, we're out of half. I have a little bit more scalping here. Let's go ahead and switch. We're basically flat here on the NASDAQ. Breaking highs today. All right, so here's the NASDAQ 100. Regular NASDAQ 100. Supermicro almost green on the day. Palantir flying up right now. My portfolio and equities are green again today. That's nice. All right, so we're up at the highs again. Look at Nvidia. I'm in 1 contract at the NASDAQ here. Let's see if we can get a pop up here. Big risk, but that's okay. We're playing with it on our funded account. Give it to me. Definitely a gamble, but we're having fun with it today. NASDAQ still breaking highs. All right, we took half off. Locked in another half. So we are now up nicely on the day here. So we got a 3-to-1 win-loss ratio. We just made a couple $100, I think. Nvidia, very strong since the opening bell. Supermicro almost back up to 1,000 here. Almost back up to 1,000. We got a little bit of consolidation. Other hot stocks besides Nvidia, Supermicro, AI-wise, or just in tech? Nvidia, guys, 820s here. Crazy, dude. Honestly, super crazy. I want to buy it, right? But it's kind of like picking up money in front of a train track. eventually it's not going to work. Crazy gains here. Supermicro at 990s. Again, Nvidia still at 821s. We got ourselves green on the day in this funded account, but craziness, to be honest here, man. We are day trading a futures account, futures funded account on Top Step. This is a futures funded account, Express funded account on Top Step. If you want to check it out and day trade with me, you see it's very similar to day trading stocks. I'm looking at Nvidia and I'm day trading the NASDAQ 100, basically the QQQ price action. No PDT in futures. They give you a demo, test your skill if you can pass the test. They fund you. If you can't pass the test, you're probably going to lose much less than putting up thousands yourself and potentially losing that. There's no PDT in futures. Great way to help support the channel. Top Step's a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, of course, in their favor, but it really is the best way to limit your risk and learn day trading in the beginning. You can check out the link right here. Nvidia PE is not 28. It's like 60 something, I believe. It's probably a little bit worse now that Nvidia pushed up this much, but it's like, it's high. We got a little cushion that we can play with too. We're going to wait for a big strength move in Nvidia and then buy or something. Let me see. It's going to have to be a very quick scalp though. I don't trust this at all. It's up so much. It's definitely sketch. We haven't had any green candles over the last 6 minutes or so. Big dip on Nvidia. Not a big dip, but a big dip on the NASDAQ. I mean, we're still watching it though. Trying to settle. One minute candle. Very quick pullback here. Supermicro pulling back to the previous closing price. I'm gonna buy this. Boom, caught the bounce, just made about 70, 80 bucks. I watched Nvidia start to go green and retest highs, which is why I bought it. We are now up about 115 bucks on the day in our funded account. I like the fact that you were straightforward with your bias announcement. Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to be real. Later, Sam. Have a good day, bro. I just try to be honest. You know, I don't even claim to be a good trader. Certainly don't claim to be an expert. Don't claim to be profitable. Don't claim to be any of that stuff. Like, not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose. Be safe, you know. I'd just rather be real about it and not have to worry about keeping up with, you know, guru day traders. Nothing against them. They've got some talented traders everywhere, but too much pressure in that way. Thank you, Mickey. I appreciate it, brother. All right, Nvidia's still at highs here. The reason I'm slowing down buying is because if you look at Supermicro, it's at 960s. It's right at the VWAP though, so it could bounce at the VWAP, and if it does, we might get a surge. Nvidia is the more important one. Nvidia just broke highs again, got up to basically 824s, 823.94, so very close. Palantir pulling back down. Nvidia still looking very freaking strong, man. Kind of crazy. All right, so now we're dipping down again. Look at Supermicro break under the VWAP here. Again, one of the reasons I slowed down buying it because, yeah, eventually we hit a peak. Again, Snapchat, break it down. It's at 1060s here, 1060s. Pretty big breakdown. We are at the bottom of the range here for Nvidia, but super micro flushing down to 920s. So I'm still hesitant to buy it, even though we're at the bottom of the range. Unless Nvidia gets a big surge back up, I'm not going to buy the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ's been breaking lifetime highs along with Nvidia. New lifetime highs on the NASDAQ are $18,144.75. So I'm not feeling reluctant. I'm just stopping day trading. I use Nvidia as a gauge into what the NASDAQ might do. Nvidia is a gauge to tech, and the NASDAQ is tech heavy versus other broad market index funds. And so with that, I tend to look at Nvidia and piggyback off of big moves. If Nvidia makes a really big move up, I might take the appropriate trade in the NASDAQ and vice versa on the downside. So I'm using Nvidia as kind of a gauge over what I want to do short term with my intraday trading. All right, so finally breaking that low. Nvidia right at the volume weighted average price. Right at the volume weighted average price. Might be a bounce level. I think that's why traders are buying up the NASDAQ. Look at Super Micro, though, breaking all the way down to $900. Very quick drop. Again, I think people think Nvidia is going to bounce at the VWAP, and it might, and they're buying the NASDAQ in that way. It's still a little bit too high for me, personally. But yeah. The Fed's not going to announce rate cuts in a month, Gino. They're just not. Not in my opinion. I might be wrong. I could always be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think what the Fed said regarding the economy in the last meeting, plus what the Fed minutes report a few days ago said, all point to the Fed starting rate cuts and ending, slowing down their quantitative tightening, which is just selling their, reducing their balance sheet, selling bonds, not buying bonds, letting their current balance sheet expire or mature is what I should say. They're going to start to slow down the quantitative tightening and go more towards rate cuts. My guess is June. I don't think it's going to be next month. Next month's way too early. Even probability-wise, if you look at the CME Watch tool, not very many people expect a March cut. That's pretty low probability. A pretty low probability. All right, so we are pushing all the way back up. Again, Nvidia did bounce at the volume weighted average price. We have a very sideways range right now. So it's something in which I'm not necessarily the most trusting right now. Nvidia, the NASDAQ trying to bounce here. Again, I'm just not the most trusting of stuff right now. Alright, so we're testing the high of this range. Lunar breaking down to 987s. Didn't they do some type of launch? We're right around the highs of the day. The question is, does the NASDAQ break it again? Typically, highs can be like a magnet, but there's also risk that we reject at highs. But question is, do I want to take that risk? I guess we'll play with it. All right, we cut it. Just made a little bit more, just a little tad gain there more. We're up about 140, 130s on the day. Quick little scalp. We might buy this dip too. Bad fill. Question is, do I want to use the risk and the profit I'm already up on the day to take larger risks, or do I just want to limit my risk here with this? I guess we could take larger risks. 2 contracts here. Kind of flat on the day now, maybe down a little bit. Got in very bad fill right at the top of the range here. One thing I do like about Top Step X is that there's no fees. This is Quant Tower. And so I think the fills are a little bit better as well, unfortunately. So yeah, just kind of getting punished here a little bit. Only down about $100 on the day with this trade. What I try to do is I try to scale up, take risks, and then if I lose, we're closer to break even instead of having like massive drawdowns on the day. But maybe I was a little bit impatient with this one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut that. So now we're down on the day, a couple $100. Unfortunate, but got impatient, got a little greedy. And again, it's all good, it happens. Who on earth is buying Nvidia after the run, late to the party? I think, what do I know? I would not do it. Yeah. Right now we're in a flat, choppy market. MACD is a moving average, convergence, divergence indicator, a good momentum indicator, but sketchy as a directional change. Yeah, for sure. I don't use MACD a lot. I use volume weighted average price 200 EMA. So IOVA looks choppier than most too. I like this move though. This looks good. But this is also a big breakdown. I'm going to try to buy the bottom of the range here. Alright, just made most of that money back. Gonna see if we pump up a little bit higher and maybe hold this break even if we start to flush. So close to flat on the day now. Now we're down a little bit. I'll give it a chance. See if Nvidia retraces back up. Here's a retracement. Let's see if it holds. Nvidia's in kind of a tight range too, though, you know. Yeah, we lost like $100 on that trade. Kind of a flat couple trades there. I'm trying to trade chop, but the reason I'm trading chop is because we're at highs up here. Q's on a VY bounce, maybe. The Q is the NASDAQ, so that's essentially what I'm trading in futures, is the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, cutting it was probably the good move. We were able to take a risk, try to get a good run up in our account, and ended the day pretty small, lightly down. We'll see if the NASDAQ can bounce back up. But again, Nvidia is what we're watching. Nvidia has to hold this 813.30 level. It's a strong bullish trend here, but it's up so much. You know, again, when the downfall happens, if it happens, I guess, will be a big downfall. You know, it'll be big. I think it'll correct fast, and so a couple $100 down is not the end of the world, I guess. Nvidia right at that volume weighted average price spot, which is a big spot. Celsius, the drink company. Yeah, Nvidia kind of is the whole market right now. That's why we're watching it so heavy. I'm red in my equities portfolio today too, unfortunately. Yeah, Super Micro, again, this is the breakdown that might have earlier signaled this big breakdown in the Q as well, or the NASDAQ. Super Micro went from 1,000, basically right under 1,000, 995s, to under 900 in about, like I said, like somebody else said here, about 10 minutes, which is crazy. See, the question is, does this hold as resistance too here? All right, so it looks like we're not going to hold that level as resistance. Super Micro, watch that one close here, team. Nvidia since 2020 up 1,600% roughly. Yeah, we're kind of flat. It doesn't mean we're not going to continue pushing up or going crazy, but right now we're flat. Will there ever be a red week again? Yes, there certainly will. Without question. Nvidia breaking under the volume weighted average price. Starting to break down on this Friday, so y'all be careful. It is Friday. Hey, V, was that Gemini you used to get the Nvidia growing video? Let me look. I can't tell. Nvidia is still at the VWAP. So Nvidia very neutral right now. VWAP is an intraday trend indicator. Nah, I'm out of PA and W, unfortunately. I should have held it, but too much risk. And again, I don't really get FOMO with these anymore. Just too much risk. My portfolio is very up on the year already. And so if I miss out on something like this, the idea was working. And that gives me confidence. It took a little bit too big of size initially, so missed out on this because I'm flat on it now. But all good. Yeah, there's the big drop in the Q. There's Nvidia dumping down. Again, exactly what I said, which is that the risk here is that when the dump happens, it's going to happen quick. People are going to start selling, panic's going to start, and the dump is going to happen, and that's what we're getting. But new lifetime highs for Nvidia at the opening. Big drops happening. Here's the dump. Here's the fall. Here's the fall from grace after everything flew up today. Crazy strength. And then crazy weakness. Giving all of it back. Remember though, team, it is a Friday. And Fridays can and will be slow a lot of the time. So remember, today is a Friday. And it can be a boring, boring day. All right, so 3 huge red candles. Let's see if it continues. It's Friday, guys. Remember, Fridays can be choppy. Nvidia bouncing at the 200 EMA, the 200 exponential moving average. It's bouncing at 805s right now. Also right around $800, which is another big milestone spot. We'll see. Do you believe AI can help traders? Yes, of course it can. Craziness here, team. Craziness. right, so breaking that low again here, giving back a lot of the gains. Again, Nvidia is still over the 200 EMA. Big bounce up here. Super Micro bouncing back up to 885s here. Snapchat's dumping down. I could add a little bit more, but my position's pretty small. But Bitcoin is bouncing at the 200 EMA level. Nvidia did bounce here, team, but again, it could be choppy. Where's Tesla at? I haven't even looked at Tesla today. Tesla's down, broke lows at 194s though, so it was up big anyway. What's happening to Micro? Super Micro is breaking down. I mean, it was probably never going to hold those gains, though. You have to understand that, right? Super Micro was almost certainly not going to hold those gains. It's just up so much. Even if it holds a quarter of those gains, it's still going to be being wildly successful as a stock run over the last year, man. Even with a quarter of those gains. And so that's what you got to understand about Super Micro. It's just up so much. The float is small as well, so it's hella volatile. The smaller the float, the more volatile the stock is. And Supermicro's got like a 50 million float, and so it's a tiny float for a company that's moving this much, or for a company that is this relevant in markets. So yeah, just be careful, bro. Starting to bounce again. So right now, Nvidia is right in between the volume weighted average price and the 200 EMA. So it's kind of chopping between those two levels. Tesla bouncing up to 194.50. So it is getting a little bit higher. Interesting here for sure. Hello. Alright, I'm streaming still. No, not that I can think of. Alright, here, I gotta go, baby. I love you. Okay, I'm streaming. Alright. Love you, buddy. Alright, sorry. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of chopping back and forth, guys. I'm probably gonna go on and pivot over. We're gonna do a crypto show. So we're gonna move on over to our crypto show. And yeah, it's been a fun day. It's been a crazy good week. Again, earlier this week, we had our largest stream ever. Our largest stream ever. We had almost 14,000 concurrent viewers. Almost 14,000 concurrent viewers, like simultaneous viewers in our Nvidia earnings stream. We're going to be going over to a crypto show right now. So before we go anywhere, guys, check out Top Step. If you want to try to day trade like I'm doing with limited risk funded account programs, genuinely limit your risk because you're only risking what you pay for the challenge. The base one on Top Step's $50. They give you a demo. They test your skill. If you can pass the test, they fund you. And once you're funded, you get a 90% split, free funding coaches, tons of great resources. If you don't pass the test, you only lose what you pay for the combine. And the patterns are very similar to blue chip stock patterns. If you look at Nvidia, you look at the Q, they're looking very similar right now. You look at, and you can day trade the NASDAQ, essentially the Q price action, the S&P 500 price action, gold, patterns are very similar, all that good stuff. It just genuinely limits your risk. You can check it out right here if you want to help support your boy in this channel. There's the link, great way to help support the channel, check it out. Also check out our other sponsor company called Chart Prime, trading view indicator service you can use in stocks, crypto, Forex, futures. I do use them a lot. People said, hey, you don't use them or whatever. But like, look at this, dude. Chart Prime. Genuinely impressive. Here's Chart Prime today. Again, let's just back test this. This is just today, maybe a little bit from yesterday. These are just the screens that show up on a 5-minute chart. And you can use them on any time frame, 1 minute, 5 minute, hourly, daily, whatever you want to use. Look how accurate this is. Let's back test it, okay? And taking all the nonsense, whatever people say out the window, these do not repaint from my understanding. And again, both of these are sponsors of mine. I'm biased because they pay me money, so of course I'm biased. But look at the breakdown. So here's a short signal right here. Beautiful breakdown. Strong buy signal here. Nice little rip up. Sell signal there worked. Strong. This one we'll say was wrong. This one right here, because I think that one failed. But this strong sell signal, beautiful breakdown over like an hour and a half of breakdowns. This buy signal showed up hours and hours ago, and you had one of the biggest nice runs. This sell signal showed up recently. Huge breakdown since then. Just genuinely impressive. And again, I can't guarantee these are going to work. Back test it yourself. They're a sponsor of mine. I'm biased, but genuinely impressive, I think. Genuinely impressive. If you want to check it out, here's the link. And they're all great ways to help support the channel. You can get Chart Prime for like $40 if you use my link, I think, or something cheap like that. And again, check out Top Step as well. They're both sponsors. I'm biased, and they're both in their favor, of course. Confirm all this stuff with them, but genuinely useful. You can also use this link if you want to check out Chart Prime. Great way to help support the channel. Again, we're going to go over to a crypto show right now. We're going to move on over to a crypto show. Talk about altcoins, Bitcoin, all that good stuff. It'll be fun. We're going to do it. And yeah, we're about to go over there right as soon as we close the stream. It should bring you to the crypto show. If for whatever reason it doesn't, but it absolutely should. If for whatever reason it doesn't, I'll give you guys the link right here to the crypto show we got going on. And yeah, I'll see you guys over there. Again, don't go anywhere. Do me a favor, guys. As soon as we get to the crypto show, literally as soon as we get there, what I need you to do is hit the freaking subscribe button. Do it now. Hit it one time. I appreciate it if you do. Thanks so much. And yeah, let's keep the growth up. Again, don't go anywhere. Let's talk about crypto. Head on over to the crypto show. Again, as soon as we end this stream, it should bring you to the crypto show. All right. Again, we're going over there right here. Let me start this other stream up. All right. Again, as soon as we go over there, it should bring you over there right now. As soon as we close this stream, it should bring you over there. I'll see you guys over there. Here's the link if you want to join the crypto show, just to put it into perspective here, guys. Here's the link. If it doesn't bring you over. I'll see you guys. Y'all be good.